Hello, my lovelies. It's Susanna, and today I want to show you how to calculate fractions of amounts. We're going to take a look at these three examples together. So let's start with the first one. Calculate 3/10 of 20 hours. Every time you want to find this result, you only have to take the fraction and multiply it by this number here. If you have a unit, you take your unit with you. So in our case, we have the 3/10, and we always multiply it by this number here by the 20 hours. If you don't have a unit, then you don't have a unit here as well. Then you only take the number, but as soon as you have a unit, take it with you. Okay, now we only have to calculate this. We want to multiply this fraction by this number. We can do this by writing this number as a fraction as well. So we can always write this as over 1 so that we can multiply. 3 times 20 hours is what we have in the numerator. And in the denominator, we have 10 times 1, which just equals 10. Okay, before multiplying here now, I would suggest to always check whether you can reduce your fraction first so that your numbers get smaller. Of course, if the numbers are as easy as they are here, you can also start multiplying immediately, but just in general, the smaller the numbers, the easier. So here, for example, the 20 and the 10 are both divisible by 10. So we have 10 over 10, which equals 1, and 20 over 10, which equals 2. So now the numbers are really small and the calculations are easy. We have 3 times 2 hours, don't forget the hours here, which gives us 6 hours. And in the denominator, we only have the 1, so we don't have to write the over 1 at all. We can just leave it like this, and this is our result. So 3/10 of 20 hours equal 6 hours. And this is always the same how to solve these problems. If we want to calculate 5/4 of 30 miles, we take the fraction and multiply it by our number with the unit. So in this case, we have 5/4 times, and then we take the 30 miles. To multiply a fraction by a number, we write the number as a fraction, so over 1, and then we multiply. In the numerator, we have 5 times 30 miles, so we take this whole thing and write it in the numerator. And the same in the denominator, there we have 4 times 1, which just equals 4. Now again, before multiplying here, always check whether you can reduce your fraction. And here, the 30 and the 4 are both divisible by 2. 4/2 equals 2. 30/2 equals 15. That's all we can do here. So now we have to calculate or multiply here. So 5 times 15. Usually we're not allowed to use a calculator here. So either you multiply 5 by 15 immediately, or you can split the 15 if you want to. So you can write the 15 as 10 plus 5. And we have to multiply both by 5. So 5 times 10 and 5 times 5. And 5 times 10 equals 50. 5 times 5 equals 25. And in total, we get a result of 75 then. So this is what we get in the numerator, our 75 miles. And we still have the 2 in the denominator. And we cannot leave this result like this, 75 miles over 2. We have to calculate 75/2. So either immediately in your head, or we can split the 75 again into 70 and then 5 and divide both of them by 2. So we have a divided by 2 here and a divided by 2 here. 70/2 equals 35, and 5 over 2 equals 2.5, and in total we have 37.5 then. So 37.5 miles. Don't forget the units if you have any. Okay, and in the last example, I want to show you something a little bit different. We want to calculate 9/50ths of $4. We go the same way. We take our fraction and multiply it by the $4. So we have 9 over 50 times $4. To multiply this, we write this here as a fraction, so over 1, so that we get 9 times $4 in our numerator, and in the denominator 50 times 1, which equals 50. Now, what I want to show you here now is not to always reduce your fraction. So maybe sometimes it's not easier to make your numbers smaller, but to make them larger. But it always depends on the numbers. So here, for example, instead of reducing this fraction, we can see that we have a 50 here in the denominator. And if we make this number larger, for example, by multiplying it by 2, so that we have 100 in the denominator, then this might actually be easier to calculate, because to divide something by 100 is pretty easy. But the thing is that we are not allowed just to multiply the denominator by 2. We also have to do the same in the numerator. So if we multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2, that is something we are allowed to do, and if it helps us, go for it. So what do we have here then if we multiply? Maybe we start 4 times 2 equals 8, and 9 times $8 equals $72 then. And in the denominator we have 100. And now the only thing that's left is to divide the $72 by 100. So we take the 72, and to divide by 100, this means we have 2 zeros here. So we take our decimal point and we have to move it 2 places to the left so that it ends up here. We fill everything with zeros, so our result is $0.72, and this is what we get then in the end. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in one of our next videos. Take care!